Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jill and today I am going to talk to you about the Chanel Medium Classic Flap. I got this bag from the Paris Rue Cambon store quite a few months ago now. When I first got it, I actually filmed some of the unboxing and first impression videos, but they've just been sitting on my phone because I've been really busy moving from Paris to New York and settling down in my new apartment and new job, etc. So I haven't had a chance to go through the different videos and just kind of edit them. And I also didn't know if I should make this channel about luxury unboxings. If you have been following my channel for a while now, you probably know that I am more used to doing videos about shopping, going outside, and kind of introducing brands that are maybe not very well known and that are interesting, that I like. And a lot of them are kind of French brands and independent brands that are popping up. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually upload this video at all, but I do think that it's still helpful to share my thoughts on the Medium Classic Flap with you, particularly because it is a bag that I really like. And if I can only have one bag, I would probably choose the Classic Flap. And this is also a bag that I wouldn't mind having multiples of, even at the current price point. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about my decision to purchase the Medium Classic Flap in Caviar and silver hardware, especially when I already have a small Classic Flap in lambskin. I know that choosing a size, leather, and hardware combination can be a daunting task, so I hope that my video will help some people come to that decision. I also want to talk to you about my purchase experience in the boutique, and also last but not least, what to look out for when you're examining the bag that you're about to purchase to make sure that it is as perfect as possible. So if those contents interest you, please do stay for the rest of the video. And for those of you who are new here, I would be very happy if you decide to subscribe to my channel. This will help me keep producing similar contents for you in the future. Alright, so the decision to purchase this Medium Classic Flap hasn't been an easy one at all, especially in 2023. We all know the prices are basically at insane levels. So you really need to think about whether this is the bag you want for the long term, not just for the next couple years, possibly for life. And also whether the size and leather and hardware combination is really the one that pleases you the most, that suits you the most. So let's just make a little detour on the pricing first. Right now, as we speak, in Europe, in the Eurozone area, this bag is retailing for 9,700 euros. And after the VAT refund, it's about 8,400 euros. And in the US, it's 10,200 US dollar plus sales tax. So you are still saving a bit of money if you purchase it in Europe. So that's something to keep in mind for. So obviously the Medium Classic Flap is pretty similar to the small Classic Flap, and my small Classic Flap is in the lambskin with gold hardware. I bought the small one before I started the YouTube channel late last year, so I did not do an unboxing and first impressions video. But actually I might do a separate video on that particular bag because it was my first Chanel Classic Flap and there was a story to go with it. Alright, so why the Medium Classic Flap when I already have a small? I think a lot of you might relate to this. When I was buying the small Classic Flap, I was trying on between the lambskin versus the Caviar leather. And the SA brought out two bags for me to choose from. And one of them was in lambskin gold hardware and the other was in Caviar and silver hardware. Both of them were in the small size and I could not decide between the two for the longest time. I texted a lot of friends to ask which one they prefer. Opinions were really scattered. I eventually went for the lambskin and gold hardware combination just because it is so elegant, so luxurious, and it's just so classically Chanel. So I wanted my first bag to be in the most classic kind of combination. And I had my mind set on the small size because I have always been a fan of smaller bags, and I didn't really like taking a lot of things outside with me. I enjoy having lightweight bags, and that was primarily the reason I chose a small bag. I didn't even try on the medium, but as you know, once you have your first Chanel bag, you're kind of hooked onto this world of Chanel classic flaps, and you see a lot of images on social media, and you watch a lot of YouTube videos, and then you start kind of falling in love with all of the shapes and sizes, which is when I started kind of wondering if I should have gotten the Caviar with silver hardware, because I find myself really panicking every time I take the lambskin out, especially in more crowded areas, and I do live in cities that tend to be pretty crowded. So I find myself having to kind of protect my bag every time people kind of cross me and pass me by, and it got to a point that it was slightly stressful. So I really wondered if I would have worn my bag a bit more often if I had gotten the Caviar and silver combination. Another reason is that I actually think the Caviar and silver combination is a very modern combination. I think lambskin and gold is just the most elegant, most luxurious choice, while Caviar just goes really nicely with silver, because I think silver kind of provokes a bit of a modern image, and Caviar is also more of a modern kind of leather. So I feel like the silver and Caviar combination is just so different from the lambskin and gold combination. And also the outfit choices that go with each one of these bags is also different. And when I then started thinking about the sizes, small versus medium, then I realized that they also look very different. The small one is much better for going out in the evening, going to nice occasions. You can even use it as a little clutch. So it has a different kind of vibe and feeling to it when you're wearing that bag. Versus the medium, which is really more of an everyday going out bag. It's also more of a daytime bag. So I felt like, actually, I need both. So once I got that idea stuck in my mind, I just couldn't get it out. So when I walked into the Rue Cambon store in Paris, I think it was in March, I asked the SA pretty randomly if they had any medium classic flap. At first, I think she was a little kind of hesitant to show me any classic flaps. She was showing me a lot of seasonal bags. And this is the thing about Chanel, I think they are trying to make the classic flaps a bit more inaccessible, but it's still not that inaccessible. So when I asked them a little bit more, and she explained to me that now the classic flaps are really harder to find, and the reason for the price increase is that they are really trying to make it more exclusive and improve the quality specifically for the classic flaps. So she took me to this private viewing room, which really felt like an Hermes kind of experience, even though it still didn't feel as exclusive as Hermes. But I think this is what they're trying to move towards with the classic flaps. And I spent a lot of time in that room trying on to make sure that medium size is really what I want and silver hardware is really what I want. And I also asked her to bring out a second bag for me to examine both to make sure that I'm getting the most perfect one possible. She was very patient with me, and I really appreciated that. So in the end, I did purchase the medium flap. So with that, I'll turn to some of the initial footages that I filmed with the unboxing and the first impressions, so you can see the bag up close. And also I think I explained what to look out for, what I examined during my kind of stay at the boutique. I also had a little bit of a hiccup with the bag when I got home, but fortunately it was resolved pretty easily, so I'll also get into that. Of course, I'll include some mug shots towards the end. I have been using this bag for the past few months already, so some of you might have already seen it in my previous videos when I'm kind of using this bag, going out, etc. But I'll still include the mug shots, so feel free to stay to the end of the video. Okay, let's examine the bag. I took a very close look when I was in the store to make sure there was no defects or imperfections. Well, I can already see here that the chain is a little bit twisted, but I think this is not a huge issue. I can probably twist it back in place. Yeah, there you go. And I was able to choose from two, and why I chose this one was mainly because the flap is super flat and super kind of balanced. Here you can see this is pretty much a flat edge. The majority of classic flaps I've seen have flaps that are kind of coming out on one side more than the other, so it's a little bit imbalanced between the two sides, and this one is super balanced and super kind of flat. And also the other one I saw, the bottom, it was a bit more kind of puffy along the bottom, and I think over time that might give rise to a little bit of crease along the bottom, particularly if you stand it upright like this often enough. And I also checked from the side. The view from the side is very important. It tells you the overall structure of the bag. I picked this one because this is a very nice kind of round structure, and there's no popping out like this. And it's also true on the other side. I felt like it just has a very round, balanced structure. Another area to check is the back pockets. Make sure these stitchings are completely aligned. And the interior is indeed a maroon inside lining, because I've heard that some of them, for some reason, came with a black inside lining, even though the interior of the bag itself is maroon colored lining. Okay, so I initially did a whole review video. When I was looking back at the footage, I noticed a light mark on the inner flap beside the CC logo. I'll insert some footage so you can see what I mean. I did not see this light mark in the store. I looked at the bag very carefully. I did not see that mark. And even when I was looking at it at home in person, I did not see that mark. So when I saw it on the screen, I was super surprised, and I didn't know what it was. So I spent a lot of time looking at it. It wasn't a scratch. It was very clear it wasn't a scratch. It was very weird because under some lighting, it wasn't picking it up, and under certain lighting, it was picking up that mark. So I didn't know what it was, but I just kept rubbing it with my finger over and over, and also with the cloth that they provided. And after a few tries, it's just disappeared. So let's look at it now. Hopefully it's not there. You never know, you know. Okay, here. Look, like it's gone, right? It just seems like the more I rub it, the more kind of it goes away. So I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it, and you know why? Because I spent a lot of time hunting down a perfect classic flap. I just love this grain texture. I looked at many classic flaps. I saw a batch in New York earlier this year. Those had much larger grains. They looked very matte, very rough. This one has a nice sheen to it. I think it has just the right amount of shine. I don't like it too shiny because I think it looks a little bit fake. This one is just enough shine. Alright, so I think it is now time to peel off the sticker. Ta-da! This medium classic flap is mostly a daytime bag for me because of the silver hardware and caviar leather. I mostly like to wear it on my shoulders. It's kind of short because the chains are not really meant to be very long, but I do like how it sticks out a bit more than the small classic flap when I wear it on my shoulders. If you don't double up the chain and just hang it on your shoulder, it's also very cute, very casual and chic. I think this is also the best way to wear the bag, especially in the winter when you've got a bigger winter coat on. I think this is also the way it's supposed to be worn. Although when I do wear the bag like this, I do prefer the small size because I think it looks better on my frame, and this medium actually does look a bit big on me. You can of course wear it as a crossbody as well, but it's a bit of a stretch. I don't usually like to wear it like that. I think it's kind of uncomfortable, and you can really only wear it like that in the summer. With the winter coat on, I think it's really too tight, and I really don't think they meant it to be worn like this. Overall, I really do like this addition to my wardrobe, even though I already have the lambskin with gold hardware in the small size, because sometimes, for example, when I'm just wearing jeans and a very casual outfit like this, and if I were to throw on the lambskin with gold hardware bag on, it just looks way too dressy, and it's just not the casual vibe that I'm kind of going for. So on days like this, which are the majority of days, I am actually very happy to have the caviar leather with silver hardware, so I can just grab and go without kind of worrying about being too dressy, or actually just worrying about the bag bumping into people when I'm in a crowded space. So for me, both bags are indispensable to my wardrobe. I have different occasions to use both bags, and I love them almost equally. I think I might like the lambskin with gold hardware a little bit more, but both are just special bags. I hope you have enjoyed the video, even though it's a little longer than usual. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.